So, good day to all who are watching. This is our fourth podcast. We have had pretty encouraging numbers from you viewers and some interesting comments as well from you guys regarding how we are doing our topics and so on and so forth. We did a short video and we put it out yesterday. That was just us laughing at Pakistan. Hopefully, you enjoyed that as well. But we have had reasonable numbers 200, 300. It's getting up there. It's not too bad. So, let's start with the hot topic. Let's actually start with SRH because SRH are the real hot topic right now. Let's just have a hand of applause for Abhishek Sharma. He really deserves it. Honestly, one of the best innings I've seen. Luck is there. Yes, it was lucky, but it's an innings which was equal to his Wankhede innings against England 2 months ago. A brilliant innings. More on that from Nikhil.
Yeah, did they need this or did they need this? My God. So they come into the tournament with the scariest opening pair, no doubt, right? Like everybody looked at that opening pair, particularly for their home games, and thought anything is possible. They are the team everybody looked at, especially after that first game as well, thinking if 300 is happening, it's happening at their hands, in their den. It'll happen in Hyderabad. The fact
Yeah,
that this was done in the chase is even more impressive.
yeah,
Got out of a no ball, catches dropped, all of that happens,
yeah,
yes. But his hitting is so clean, it's so like he just doesn't stop. There is no you know when others do it,
yeah,
it feels like the wicket is around the corner. In just this week, since the last time we spoke, Priyansh has
yeah.
played a phenomenal innings of this sort as well, right? Where he just kept
We'll
going.
discuss
In fact,
Priyansh. We have to discuss
in
Priyansh. We'll
fact, in
discuss
fact,
Priyansh.
Priyansh
We'll
is
get to him.
probably more impressive because his percentage of the total runs scored was so high for such a long period of time, right? In that
Yeah,
innings. But Abhishek has something different, man. I've never seen such. He's not even a big built guy. Doesn't look strong. None of that. But his hitting arc, his swing is so perfect. Just doesn't miss. He's also, and I mean, maybe this is a bit boomerish of me, but he's also a creature of the modern bats. You get sixes hit off
yeah,
the tip of the bottom from
yeah,
half. Your edges fly a long, long way, and these short grounds
yeah,
in
yeah,
particular, it all becomes a lot easier.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if any team is playing Hyderabad now, both of them flew out of the blocks yesterday. Both of them came flying out. And that opening
Ima-
partnership was almost as if there was almost an emotional compensation, not a numerical compensation. Now, it can't be because you can't win three matches in one, right? But an emotional compensation for the failures of the rest of the season.
yeah,
Almost
yeah,
just to say, we're here and we are the guys who are going to take you forward moving from here. The
yeah,
other
yeah.
thing that they need to look at is their bowling is just like what Pat Cummins is not interested in this IPL by the look of things. Um, he's going at about 11 and over, man. And it's not just on this ground, it's in every ground. He's not interested at all. In fact,
Yeah.
let's be crystal clear about this. In Test match cricket, there may still be a very strong argument of picking between the Indian fast bowlers and the Australian fast bowlers in this generation for which is the overall better lineup,
Better lineup, yeah.
right? If you have a perfectly fit Bumrah, Shami,
Shami,
and what used to be one of either Bhuvi or Ishant, right?
or
At peak, or
Siraj also.
Siraj, not so that's competitive with these three. Maybe the Australians nick it by a little bit. Okay,
Wait,
white ball
yeah, yeah.
cricket there is not even a comparison. White ball cricket,
Not
our
even a
bowling lineup is fast bowling lineup is so far ahead of theirs. It's not even a
no,
competition,
no comparison. Yeah, I agree. So
right?
when I looked
But
at the
coming to SRH again, so like when that opening lineup kicks in, right?
Hmm.
When it kicks in, I think one of the mistakes they've been making is they're not using Kamindu Mendes enough. I think
I
Kamindu
agree,
has to
but
be
where
there.
do you find space for him? Where do
But
you
he
find
has to
space?
be a volume run maker. He has to be either three or four, yeah, where he doesn't have the stress
Hmm.
of keeping on going at the ball all the time, and that will free up Klaasen because these two have suddenly arrived after this particular inning. Klaasen still hasn't. Klaasen
Yeah,
is the only guy I can think of in T20 cricket today who, given the position that he bats and given the batting style, can win games the way Kyron Pollard used to win games. He can win you crazy games. He can win you 12 and over for 14 and over for 6 overs kind of games, Like he can just
in the
suddenly come
middle
up with
order. In the middle order.
yeah,
In the
he can
middle order.
suddenly come up with 2 overs above 20 runs and over. and suddenly
Yeah,
you knew that game, right?
I can see it. I can see it happening. Yeah. But firstly, let's think about Abhishek Sharma's innings in perspective. It's a strike rate of well over 250, and he maintained that for 55 balls of purest ball striking I've ever seen. But there's another part to this, and this is something I've observed with both Jaiswal and Sharma. Jaiswal to a lesser extent since he's better technically, Abhishek Sharma to a greater extent since he's a power hitter. Both of them are lanky, tall, have an excellent reach, and they are lefties. They have very similar strike zones. They have that wonderful six hitting ability over cow corner and over the offside. Magnificent players of spin, both of them. Great use of feet as well. I have a feeling these two can be very devastating if put together, and that for me should be a T20 opening combination moving forward. Brilliant combination.
I don't want Jaiswal's batting swing to get affected. I don't want his batting arc
Hmm.
to get affected. He's probably going to be the mainstay of your test match batting over the next 5 to 7 years.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? He's the most significant talent that's come out in test match cricket in quite some time.
By far,
And
by far.
right, and because Gill just doesn't seem to get it done.
No.
Uh, he's already far more important to us than Gill in test cricket.
Yeah.
And he's opening. That's huge. That's pressure. Right? You cannot have errors of bat swing when you're opening. You can have some margin for error, a little bit in the middle order, lower order, but you cannot have any margin for error in the top order. So I don't know if I want him. Kohli used to talk about this. He used to talk about how he would not allow his bat swing to change so that he could continue to play test cricket as well as he was, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, because you tend to flail more. In T20 cricket, your
Yeah. Yeah.
hands are just going. You tend to flail more with a. You play square bat in a lot of circumstances where you would never play square bat with a red ball,
Red
right?
ball.
So your footwork changes somewhat. This hoik over cow corner. Sometimes they play with the open body, but
Yeah.
sometimes they're actually just cutting across and trying to hoik at something they
True.
shouldn't be trying it even at, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean Jaiswal, I get he's a very important T20 player. I do not ever want him trying to emulate this guy's strike rates.
Not
You
this
already
guy's
have a
strike rate.
lefty.
200 is enough. 180, 200 should be enough.
You
Not
already have a
250,
lefty who will do that. That's Tilak Verma. Tilak Verma. I'm waiting for one day when both of these well, not one day. They've already done it. Abhishek and Tilak exploding together is a little. It'll be insane. It'll be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now that we're
Just
on
as
Tilak Verma, that brief
just as
bit.
you said that, Jaiswal launched one down the ground for six. I just
He's
love
down the
watching
ground.
this.
I'm very happy. He can hit as many sixes as he wants down the ground. It's
Yeah.
the cross-batted hoik that I don't want to see too much of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And in any event, it's a little bit of it is mentality, right? You restrain the amount of power you want to play with in Test cricket. You
Yeah.
reduce the power of the swing, you reduce the backlift, you reduce the follow through. You become more compact per se, more control over your backswing, over your
Yeah. Yeah.
backswing in general. Then it's fine.
Yeah.
Then I don't really mind.
Yeah.
Uh, now that we're on this, because Tilak Verma came up, man, for about 20-25 minutes, that Pandya Tilak Verma partnership against RCB was so much fun. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
so much fun.
It was a
What
brilliant.
Pandya did to Hazelwood, my God.
Yeah.
First ball six was a spectacular shot, bros. That's not an
Yeah. Yeah.
ordinary shot.
Ordinary
That's a
shot at all.
killer shot. And then
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
one over long off though is lights out. That's probably my shot of the tournament. I
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
not
A
believe someone can
magnificent
do that
blow.
to Hazelwood.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a
A
hit!
magnificent.
That's not a. Again, I'm gonna say this. This shit bothers me. I would love to watch the IPL, these squads, this kind of talent on Australian grounds. So I promise you, half these batsmen are not going for half the shots that they play
Ah, yeah. That's true.
because
That's
they
true.
know they can't clear it. They know they can't clear it. They'll also be running more, so they'll be tiring more. This kind of
I
power will
have a
disappear.
different argument. I'd like to see them do it on English grounds like spaces, not the grounds per se, but the grounds like spaces. I'll tell you why. Every cricket field in the world, most cricket fields in the world are circular or variations of a circle, right? English grounds are different. They are mostly rectangular or
Ovals,
squares,
very,
basically.
very, very ovalish, very rectangular. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. No,
I
the
mean,
oval is the only one which is
Headingley is
circular.
purely a square, like a rectangle. Headingley is
Yeah.
completely a rectangle.
Lords is a rectangle. Lords is a
And,
rectangle.
and a slanted rectangle is that.
Yeah, slanted rectangle. But the point is, in Lords, mid-on is a 100-meter boundary. Regardless of which pitch you play from, mid-on and mid-off are 100-meter boundaries. So it's not an easy shot to hit a six. But square leg is a joke. It's 60 meters. Square leg is 60, mid-on, deep mid-on is 100. So look at the variation. That variation you don't get in Indian grounds. Indian grounds are very one key, one key, one key. With one notable exception, Braeburn. Braeburn is the only square ground we have, and it has massive mid-on and mid-off
Yeah, we haven't
boundaries.
played at Brabant for a long, long time, bro. Long
Them,
time.
yeah.
No, I'm
No, we
also
did.
very
We did.
disappointed.
IPL 2022. IPL
Yeah,
2022
but
we
maybe
played.
the odd
So,
match. I'm very
yeah.
disappointed the way we've given up on Mohali. I don't know why, but we've completely given up on Mohali.
They wanted more capacity and they got it in Mullanpur, which is around 40-45K. That's
They can add
basically
a
what I
stand or
heard,
two
and
in
they
Mohali.
wanted
Achha,
it.
no, they can't. They can't. That's in a flyby zone. That's the problem in Mohali.
Yeah.
It's right under a flyby zone. They built it in the wrong place,
Yeah.
basically. Super pitch. At
And
one
in a
time, it used to
different
be a
era.
super pitch. The first test that was
Yeah.
ever played at Mohali, now that pitch, it was West Indian fast bowler that was hopping, man, properly. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
back, RCB batted well. Kohli, in particular, batted well in that game. That was a solid
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, a prime example of two things. One is exactly how good Karen Pollard was, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, if they get it right, if that sort of a bit of a fair weather fairer in my eyes, Surya Kumar Yadav, if he starts to bat a little bit better in the middle order, then
Mm.
these two, if they bat lower down together, Tilak and
Yeah.
Hardik, they can cause carnage, pure carnage.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Tilak obviously had an injury in the preceding two matches. Somewhere in that Gujarat innings against GT,
Yeah. Yeah.
he lost his
Yeah.
hitting arc altogether, right? It
Arc
just went away.
altogether.
Like, it was visible. You saw it. He was fine
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
couple of shots, and then it just suddenly disappeared. And obviously, it
Disappeared.
didn't return in the next match, and that's when he was uh, retired out.
Yeah.
And then Hardik explained after the next match, but they've lost two games, Sima, from 29 needed of 12. Yeah. They did all the hard work. At one point in neither game was a target of 29 needed of 12 seeming possible.
No, in the RCB game, it was 29 of 12. I agree. In the Gujarat game, they lost by 36 runs. So it was much more.
No, no, no. I'm not talking about the Gujarat game, brother. It was a LSG game. Back
LSG
to
game. Yeah, got it,
back to
got it,
back
got it,
games, they
got it,
lost
yeah,
that game.
got it, got
Right?
it, got it. Yeah,
Now, 29 of 12 may seem doable because people assume six hitting power, right? But at
yeah.
29 for 12, in my estimation, you still need to hit a minimum of three sixes and perhaps
Or
four.
four fours, or four fours.
Fours are much rarer in this format. Yeah. Look at Puran, all he does is hit sixes.
I agree. I agree. But
Abhishek,
still,
all he does is hit sixes. They all just hit six. Four is like, they're
no, no.
not penetrating.
Abhishek is different. Abhishek is different. 14 fours, 10 sixes yesterday. It was
Yeah, but
a
you
different
yeah, but
type
that's for
of.
140 runs. That's a lot of runs, right? What I'm
Yeah,
trying to
fair
get
enough.
at is very few of them want to penetrate through the ground. And anyway, later stages, five fielders back, harder to penetrate through the ground. So, okay, you might
Exactly.
have the odd boundary, but yes, I do agree that, three sixes may be an odd boundary. And that sounds easy, but that's four big shots in only 12 opportunities. Not
Yeah,
may
yeah,
happen, may
yeah,
not happen. The problem
yeah,
for Mumbai is it's been so bad that they've scored even only 16 and 17 in those two matches
yeah,
from needing
yeah,
29 of 12. Right? And that
yeah.
happens why? Because you keep going for more. I mean, just think of the margins here, bro. For last over, first ball, Santner, Tim David
Five
right
yards
at
left,
like
right. It's six. Yeah,
not even or 2 yards higher, gone.
yeah, yeah,
Right? 5 yards left, right, I think he would have still been out because the trajectory was lower, but it's just a minuscule amount of better contact. That's all it is, right? The
yeah,
next ball after that is also got right on the boundary. That's two sixes taken away
yeah,
from them, and which become two wickets. Right? That
yeah,
suddenly changes the game in your favor big time. But
yeah.
those are the margins. That's what you live with, right? Uh, but yeah, first a word for RCB. I cannot put in words how clutch, how fantastic fantastic Bhuvneshwar Kumar is as a bowler, boss. What
And
a bowler.
Hazelwood in some matches as well.
Bro, Hazelwood bowled that last over very, very well in that
Yeah,
particular game. But,
in
but it's
particular game.
Bhuvi will under pressure deliver the Yorker more than any other bowler. You just
Yeah,
keep putting it there.
yeah, yeah. Just keep putting it there. And even Hazelwood found a Yorker for Hardik Pandya
When he
at the
needed
very
it.
end.
Yes, when he needed it. When he needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
runs are
good, good.
also. I think the first 10 days had an average of well over 200 for the first innings.
First
And I think
5 days, I would say. First
no,
five
no,
days.
no,
Next
no, no.
two.
I checked the stats on this. About 10 days at about 208 or so. As the
Yeah.
after that we're down to around 175, but now it's rising again.
It's again rising up. Yeah. It's again rising
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
a couple of big
Okay.
games, and I think mostly because of Calcutta and Hyderabad, right? Those two stadiums are really yielding runs.
Y-
Luckily, Chinnaswamy is not yielding runs like it used to.
But
Uh,
that's actually a problem because
for
Chinnaswamy has
RCB,
become a
for
Dubai.
RCB, it is
No.
a problem. I
Or
agree.
for whichever team is batting first, it's a problem. Because if
I
you
agree.
don't get,
I
it's
agree.
a toss game. You can just wrap up the game after the toss. Both games, Dew in the first game and Drain in the second game. Match was over as soon as the toss happened. There was no point in playing it any further. See,
Yeah.
because for me, if you are at RCB, you have to give a flat deck. The dimensions of the stadium are such that there's absolutely zero point in you putting your brains together and putting a pitch for spinners or for fast bowlers, because dew is going to happen 11 out of 10 times at RCB. If it's not dew, it's rain. Rain has the same effect as dew. We saw it in the KL Rahul
No,
brilliancy. But the point
in fact,
is
dew didn't happen that night because clouds were around. Otherwise, dew would have happened.
exactly the point. If there were no clouds around, it would have been a dew game and it would have been match over. Simple as that. But point I'm trying to
Yeah,
say is,
this is a real problem in our stadiums, man. Ahmedabad is the same, bro.
yeah, but the surprising part was Ahmedabad last two matches there hasn't been much dew. That
Yeah,
is the
you're
crazy
right
part.
about that. You're right about that, and that also is its own problem
Yeah,
because
you don't
then you
have any
can't
idea
chase.
what to,
Then
yeah.
you can't chase.
Yeah, you can't
Because they just
chase.
keep bowling the cutter into the pitch and it's gone. The match is gone.
Yeah. And Ahmedabad is not as small a ground as Chinnaswamy where you can get away with miss hits also.
No, no, and in fact, like you said, it's a very even-sized ground, right? It's a circular ground with a big all around.
Yeah. Yeah. See, with the Chinnaswamy, right, the two games were fine, what I saw. But the point is, as soon as we got like 160 odd, I knew we were done. Or as soon as the toss happened, I knew we were done. Because for GT, the curators had the brilliant idea to give us a green deck. And for the other game, we had a slow deck. That is the Delhi game. Uh, Completely pointless decisions, both sides. And regardless of how much pitch stock is going on, Chinnaswamy is only good as a flat deck, and I'm sorry, that's the way it has to be. It has to be the flattest deck you can find. That's the deck on which you defended 219 against CSK last year. That's the deck on which you have nearly chased down 280. That's literally the nature of the deck. Don't mess with it, because if you are messing with it, this is exactly what's going to happen. Put the toss, whoever wins the toss wins the match. You can just pack up your bags and leave, because dew is going to kill you in the second innings anyway. There's no point in playing the match if you're putting out pitches like this. It's a good pitch, but it's not for Chinnaswamy. Straight up, I'm telling you this. So that's how I'd put it. Because the next game is I don't know who it is against for RCB, but point is I just want a flat deck. I don't care if they bat first or we bat first. Who is it against? Punjab, probably
The
Punjab,
next
probably
home
Punjab.
game,
Yeah, next home
next
game.
home
Next
game.
home. Yeah, yeah. See, there's no point with us playing for green decks here, because they're just going to kill us with dew. So there's no point to that. I'm straight up
So
telling you this.
I get that. I understand that. I wanted to discuss a couple of things that I think are standing out for me. One is the position of Shafane Rutherford in the GT team.
But before we get to GT, let's just cover the elephant or the old man in the room,
Oh, go fuck
right?
him, yeah. I've had enough for this guy, yeah. Please, I can't do this. You have your say. I'm not going to say anything more other than I've had enough.
I agree, but this is literally what happened. So let's clear it up. Gaikwad had a fracture. He's had an elbow fracture and he was out. MS Dhoni was leading CSK. So my point was, when was he not leading CSK? He has been leading CSK throughout its history. It's not like if anyone else becomes captain, they are captain. They're not. It's MS Dhoni. Let's be very clear about that. But the point is, oh yes, this. Look, this was an inside edge. I'm not even going to deny that. This was an inside edge. Umpire got it wrong and everyone else got it right. But my comment, I think, pretty much personifies what the umpire also was feeling. Clear edge looks like even the umpire had enough of his batting. I'm not going to be surprised if that's exactly what happened. The umpire was like, enough of seeing this grandfather bat in front of me. I'm going to give him out.
No, but the question now is, obviously the season is going to end in disgrace, right?
Yeah, yeah. Big
Is
time.
he willing to walk away from cricket with that kind of season?
He is not, because he gave out a press statement a few days before this KKR game, that most recent humiliation, that he is basically going to stay for another season after this. Truly incredible.
There is nothing to say, bro. I mean, I want to understand from a pure CSK perspective, management and fan, right?
Yeah,
From a management perspective, let's split it into two parts. One is the cricketing part, the other is the financial part, the economics
yeah.
of it all.
Actually,
I
I'll bring up
The
something. I'll
only
bring up
entity
something.
from whose perspective I get it is are the money managers of the CSK, right? There I get it. Uh,
Yeah,
they need this. I understand that completely, right? But I mean, what are they worried about? Is Chinnaswamy is sorry Chepak going to be empty if Dhoni's not in the team?
I have a very funny feeling it's going to be, and that there are a few tweets that were pretty damn
And how does that
disturbing.
even matter? Now let's break it down even further. How does it? The gate revenues are not deciding what their profits are, right? That's essentially coming from TV revenue.
I
Are
agree,
they
but
worried that CSK teams will not be tuning in as much for CSK matches? I mean, what is this? Like, it has to come to an end, man.
I don't think it will, because the more and more I'm seeing Dhoni and his mindset, it's kind of I have come to a kind of an idea. See,
Brother,
there was
they
one
have
tweet
the
with
unique opportunity of any team in the IPL, okay, of clearing up three major spots in their 11. That's
three,
Dhoni,
yeah.
Ashwin, and Jadeja.
Actually even
Okay.
more. I will actually add a
No,
few
no,
more
but
people.
we'll go. 3D can also go. Others can also go. I get it, but these
Yeah,
three
yeah,
on just pure age can go.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Easily.
I mean, Ashwin 9.75 crores this year. I mean, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you even thinking? So,
Also, have you seen the
I mean,
difference in the
and there are
way?
very few people who are a bigger fan of Ravichandran Ashwin than I am. I love Ashwin, but I'm sorry,
Look,
the
I love.
road has ended. The road
Yeah,
has
yeah,
ended, bro. It's done.
yeah, yeah. No, he
Especially
could have
where,
stayed on in tests. He could have stayed on in tests
yeah,
for
yeah,
another
but
year.
but you cannot be that. Even he knew he can't stay on in test. I'm telling you, there was a sincere thing in his mind. My worry with him is this: it's not just that you're there. These three fuckers have been given 6, 7, and 8. You cannot build a T20 team with these three at 6, 7, 8. Jaddu,
Yeah,
you might extract a season or two. I'm not going to, because Jaddu's
disagree with
fitness
you.
is ridiculous. He's a very, like, this is T20. You can dart and you can bowl the quick darting left armers. That's fine. He'll have some hitting potential, but he should not be batting higher than 8. Right? You can accommodate him somehow or the other. But the other two absolutely have to go. Now, if they go, look at the amount you free up for yourself from your purse. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They do.
you can go get some killers and
Yeah, yeah.
completely reorient your team.
So here are my thoughts on this issue. Let's actually break it down step by step. First one is, Dhoni still appears in ads for India Cements. Now, why is India Cements relevant to this issue? India Cements is part owner of part owner of CSK. Simple as that, right? That's one. Two, Thala still dominates CSK discourse. There are actual CSK fans. There is a knowledgeable CSK fan base. I get that, but that's not the majority. The majority are those who just go for Dhoni Darshanam. All right. There's a genuine fear that after Dhoni is gone, and I'm not going to disagree with CSK management there, that the stadium will be half empty. I won't be surprised if that actually does happen. Let's be very clear about that. There's a difference in culture with certain other teams. Like KKR still fill up their stadium regardless of who is there, because nobody has been there with them for the entirety of their 18 seasons so far. So that's another thing, right? So with CSK, it's always been Dhoni. and they have never been able to move on. Here itself, they had an opportunity. They could have said, Rutraj Gaikwad is gone. Let's give the captaincy to a younger man. They did not. They went back to the old faithful. They went back to old faithful. That shows they have no confidence in their team anymore. And Fleming's press conferences are basically, it feels like it's a mental asylum detainee talking. It feels like that these days.
What's he
He's
supposed
just,
to do, bro? The truth that he wants to say, he can't say. So what's he supposed to do?
he picked this team. He was the man picking this team.
Yeah,
These are all his
I.
decisions.
If you're going to, in the end, come and tell me that Stephen Fleming is the mastermind behind the selection of the CSK, then I'm going to send you a package of smelling salts, my friend. There is no way Stephen Fleming has that much say at CSK. All right, there's no way. This is friends and friends with benefits happening. Thala and his two
That's their
best buddies are there. That's all it is. That's all it is. They could have at least built a compensatory team up top. Conway has not been in form for 2 years, boss. All formats.
also more and more I look at Rachin Ravindra, he fits into the Jaiswal mold. He's a classical batsman who cannot
Beautiful
have a power.
batsman. And again, there are some people for whom a particular uh, franchise will not work.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Rachin Ravindra is it feels like a very Rajasthan Royals player to me. You understand what I mean? Like punching above his weight. Very
Or a
classy, but
KKR
punching
player.
above his weight.
Or a KKR player.
To me, KKR, I just find KKR, I kind of loathe KKR. I don't know why. I've always hated KKR. Maybe because of Shah Rukh. That whole
Ah, fair
Bollywood
enough.
thing, no, I really hated it, man. But having
But
said that, I really like Preeti Zinta. I've always thought she's a person with a lot of character. So I didn't mind Punjab, but Punjab was always a joke team. Like Punjab, just the team doesn't do anything. This season they
they
should
should
be,
be.
but they've got trouble coming now, and they've
Yeah,
got
because
selection changes to make.
the SRH game was one of the losses that there also there's a coincidence. Shreyas Iyer captained KKR last season, hit 261 and lost that game to Punjab. He went to
Yeah, no,
Punjab, made 245 and lost it to SRH. So
bro, that's two crazy grounds. Yeah, it can happen.
yeah,
I
yeah,
look with Shreyas. I'll come to Shreyas. One dismissal of Shreyas really bothering me, and it should bother him, and it should bother all his fans. But just to close the loop on Chennai, they have, as this tournament has progressed, even though both Chennai and Mumbai have won only one game each, Mumbai are a far superior
Don't tell
squad.
me Mumbai is the same as Chennai. Mumbai is a
They are
far better
far
team than
superior
Chennai.
squad to Chennai, right? Like
Yeah,
Mumbai now with Bumrah back, with Hardik hitting form again. You 2 games, man, 29 needed of 12. You win those two, you're suddenly in the middle of the pack, yeah. And you
yeah, yeah.
deserve to win those two. You should have won those 2 games,
Yeah.
right? But okay, even if you had won one, you suddenly look a little bit better,
Mhm.
a little bit better. But
How did they lose to Chennai? How did they lose to Chennai? I have to ask myself that question.
yeah,
Literally,
I don't think
at this point.
I think it's just they were not ready at that moment. And whatever it was, I'm going to go a step further. They have no problems, no calms, no compunctions. They already, you can see it. Rohit is being transitioned out. He's the one that they removed for the sub as well. He's not captain
Yeah,
anymore. Even at a time at which Rohit's contributions are very low in any event, so there's no real loss into the 11. Right? They'll very
exactly.
comfortably get rid of him. They also have the best scouts in the IPL. No disputing on that point. I mean, historically the best scouts,
Yeah.
right? So they will fill those gaps, and they will very easily get even a big high profile hitter somewhere or the other, somebody who goes into the auction. I mean, they're going to look at Abhishek at some point. They'll want Abhishek
I don't
at
think SRH are ever going to release Abhishek though.
they won't. But Abhishek may make a request himself. What are you going to do then? Yeah, in a grand auction.
No, if SRH win a title in the next 3 years, Abhishek isn't going anywhere. Mark my words, because he knows he can win. After he knows he can win, he is not going to go anywhere. Simple as that. Then money is not going to become an issue because he's already retained for 18 crores. That's the max. Whatever is the max next time, they'll give it to him. They will give it
Yeah,
to him.
that opening slot in Mumbai.
Yeah,
Whom does it go to? They've released 3 players over time, okay, which I think were bad releases. One was okay. I have no problem with them releasing Tim David. Tim David is doing better in RCB than he did at Mumbai, and he
Mumbai.
just couldn't get it done at Mumbai.
Fair enough.
But
Fair
the
enough.
release of
Sometimes it
both
happens.
Ishan Kishan and Cam Green was a bad set of releases. The
Yeah.
release of Nehal Vadera is a bad release. He
Neil
should have been
Vadera is one
preferred
of the
over
biggest.
Namandir. Sorry?
Neil
Should have
Vadera
been
was one
preferred
of the
over
biggest
Namandir.
fumbles.
Yeah, he should have been preferred over Namandir. At different times, they let go of Trent Bolt when Bolt was very good in order to accommodate Jofra. Jofra didn't work out for them. Now they brought Bolt back. Bolt is towards the end of his cycle in a sense now.
And Jofra is actually getting back into full form and full
Jofra,
flow.
Jofra has crazy stats for that first over, bro. He's got the best
Mm.
first over in all of IPL history
Yeah.
consistently. Right? He takes a wicket in those first 8 balls given 100%, which Bolt
Yeah.
used to be for a long time, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But for Mumbai, your titles are built essentially on how much of a god Malinga was, how much of a
Yeah.
god Pollard was, and how much of a
Yeah.
god peak Rohit was.
Peak
Right?
Rohit
And
was.
even then, one absolute miracle final, crazy final
Yeah.
that they went and won
Actually,
where
there are
they,
two absolute miracle
yeah,
finals.
they're complete crazy finals. Finals that they weren't in the game till they won it. Yeah.
They won two finals by one run each. Come on, give me a break. They have had more luck in going into those finals than
Yeah,
any
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
team.
Yeah. So now but they are better positioned for the reconstruction, and they'll do it. But
Yeah.
I don't think they can hit that dominant squad like that 2020-21 squad that they had. I don't think they can hit that squad for a long time.
No.
Right? That because at that time they looked way better than everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Uh,
true.
and they
But
look like the best
actually,
T20
a
team on the
question.
planet.
A question. So let's get to a more deeper question, and this concerns Rohit Sharma. Okay. So Rohit has been in absolutely awful form. Forget the Champions Trophy final. Everything prior and after has been pretty bad. 100 against England, but yeah, two innings out of 15, 20 doesn't make you in form. And Mumbai have seen how rubbish he has been this entire season. So now the question becomes for Gautam Gambhir, and this is a deeper question. Do you tell him step aside after this IPL for the test team? Because he cannot be your opener in England. This cannot be the
There's no
reality.
deeper question there. This question is the same question as Australia. And let's be clear, he has unselected himself for the last test match that India played.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So that's his starting point of debate with the red ball. In between his form, he's really lucky he pulled off one good innings in the Champions Trophy, and that turned out to be in the final. Otherwise, he had
yeah,
a pathetic Champions Trophy as well. Nothing in the IPL so far. I mean, there's just no form. I'm seeing videos of MI training. Okay, kids are coming and bowling to him, and his eyes are gone. They're gone.
yeah,
You know, speaking of eyes, for whatever it's worth, Dhoni smacked Lockie Ferguson, proper fast bowler. Smacked
yeah,
him for two sixes. Okay, his eyes are not painted on as yet as much as Rohit's are looking. Rohit
yeah.
doesn't look like he could do this to anybody anymore.
Dhoni's eyes are gone for spinners. He cannot read them anymore. It's
Yeah,
over.
yeah, yeah. No. He's always had a. By the way, his reading of spin has always been very odd. I just people should, if they can, watch uninterrupted the 2007 India Sri Lanka match World Cup, which we lost and got knocked out. Okay, the
That.
way the way he was walking out to bat, na, I could tell you
Yeah.
he's gone first ball. He's out first
Oh
ball.
my God.
He was walking out to bat with Murli bowling, and you could just see it on his face. There's no fucking way I want to play Murli. And just
Yeah.
just watch. He wasn't beaten by Murli. He had no intent of even trying to read Murli. That's how comprehensively he gets out and just turns around and walks out. You could just tell it's not there. He's never been a great player of spin. It's just that conditions over time in cricket were deteriorated, flattened so much that they fell into his hitting arc. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, a
Look,
small tangent on Murli.
the greatest thing about his T20 batting that others didn't used to possess for the longest time was his ability to put away the wide Yorker, bro. That's the
Ah,
shot
yeah.
that he used
Yeah.
to hit.
Agreed.
The
Agreed.
slice that he used to hit through point and third man, and the ability,
Yeah.
if it's a little bit off length, to put that
Yeah.
same ball away cover, those are stunning shots. But only he
Yeah.
had them for the longest time. Right? And that's what
Back then.
distinguished him.
Yeah.
That's not to say he didn't have other shots, but I'm saying others also had other shots. But
Yeah. Yeah.
these shots really distinguished him.
Yeah.
But
That's
the larger point on it, I'm really saddened to see that spin is now incentivized to be minimalistic turn to beat the bat. That's all.
That's literally what it is. Santner in the New Zealand series was literally that minimalistic turn.
What is Varun Chakravarti? Barely
Varun
seen a ball
Chakravarti.
turn from the guy. Yeah? My
Yeah.
life, I've like this much turn somewhere along and oh, great ball, great ball. It's no fun to watch this shit, dude.
But
Thank
that's the
God,
problem with
people like
DRS.
thank God people like Kuldeep Yadav still exist. That's an artist, man. That
Yeah.
bowler is an artist.
But even he has the straighter variations. He knows when
Has to
to.
have it, yeah. Has to have
Yeah.
it. Can't help it.
There's no other way, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at the difference between Ajaz Patel and Kuldeep Yadav, and you'll realize what I'm trying to talk about. Wicket to wicket versus artistry. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's.
Ajaz Patel is, I swear to you, in most generations of cricket, when people knew actually how to play spin, that's a
He would be
five test
rubbish.
match. That's a five test match career where his entire career is spent just getting milked by the batsman. Just taking a foot down the ground, a little bit down, and just tapping him away to mid off, tapping him away to long off, and then just taking runs off him. Just
But
been milked out.
no, but this is a two-part problem. One is batsmen don't know how to play spin anymore. Two is ridiculously spinning decks that with
That's
DRS
only
have
us,
created a
no. That's only us, bro.
yeah
That's
pit
only us.
that have created a trap. Yeah, that's
No,
there.
but that's only us. We're the only idiots doing this, right? New
I
Zealand
don't think we
series.
are doing it anymore after the New Zealand series. I don't think we'll
But
see any more
why the
spinning
last
decks.
two tests we did it again?
No, after the New Zealand series, we are not going to do it anymore. I'm saying.
Bro, I get the feeling that my big critique of all of this is I think a 2 year cycle is too short for a WTC.
How many
And
years should it be?
I don't care how many years it should be, but everybody should be playing the same amount of home and away test matches against everyone else. Yeah. If you This is why no cycle was needed. Yeah. Test cricket, everybody used to inherently know who the best team is. And then one series would come up against the two teams that are the most competitive in the world cricket at that point in time, and you'd be like, this is the series everybody wanted to watch, right? I loved it that way. It was perfectly fine. They'd play five test matches at times. Now it's sort of become, yeah, tell me this WTC, okay, South Africa snuck in with the oddest calculations, right? Like there is no basis for them to actually be there because they haven't played enough games. And they've played them on their highly doctored pitches at home for the most part. Although I still think a very decent test team, by the way. They've got a
Yeah,
few batsmen now. And that Tristan Stubbs, I'm a big fan of Tristan Stubbs. I like his batting.
Ryan Rickelton is not a bad test
Rickleton's
batsman.
decent, but Stubbs is like their next big thing type. So I'm fine with
Yeah,
that. That's whatever it is, right? New Zealand snuck through similar ways last time,
yes, yeah.
right? Really, this entire high quality test cricket regularly is only being played by India, Australia, and
A-
perhaps sometimes England. Perhaps
And
sometimes England.
I would say I would extend the argument to New Zealand on some of their pitches as well. Sometimes.
Just at home, bro. So do they
Yeah,
travel at all?
no, not very well.
Actually, who the hell are we to say this? Just walk to
Ah,
3
that's
nil
there.
at
That's why.
home, yeah.
Yeah, exactly my point. I was about to come to that. Yeah. Okay.
I will never, it will never become a part of my normal memory, right? Because
Yeah.
I've seen it session. Not one fucking session of that series were we ahead. Like there was not a moment where I can say, oh, we missed we never opened the door on that series at all. We were never in that series.
I will give
But
them
it
one
would
thing
still
though.
not sit in my head that somebody beat us 3 nil at home and it was these fucking Kiwis. We got fucking walloped in every circumstance and every way on pitches we created to favor ourselves. Our
I agree,
batsmen,
but
who
no,
played a
no.
lot better
My
than Australia, right?
yeah. But point is, I'm trying to
We
say
were super
after
in
that
that series,
disaster,
bro. We were done.
I don't think we are putting up spinning decks after this for a while. We're putting up natural decks like we saw against England because
I'm
this
not
is
so
not going to
sure.
work.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You lose Rohit, right? You've lost Anna. Perhaps over time, over next season or two, you might lose Virat. Okay, your
Yeah.
urgency to win home tests might be greater than it has ever been. Then you might go back to this
But
bullshit
you're
again.
not going to win them with such decks. New Zealand have shown the way. You're not
But
winning the winning.
you also do win enough of them.
No, but the point is, New Zealand showed that without errors and basically with rubbish decks like this, your spinners are going to be as or more potent than our spinners.
Yeah, but let's say South Africa is coming. They don't have a spinner to
Maharaj will
speak of.
run through. Maharaj will run through on a deck like that.
Will he really? Well, perhaps
Yeah,
you're
he
right.
will. He will. He will. He's
South
accurate
Africa
enough.
have just enough there. England is another one worth doing it too. England don't have it kills baseball and they don't have enough spinners.
I agree, but
But
England
we beat
also.
them without doing it. We beat them
Exactly
without
my
doing it.
point. Exactly my point. You beat them without doing it, that's one thing. And if you put out these decks for South Africa when they come
No,
later
no, I
this
mean
year,
I'm
right?
not defending this. I from the beginning, from the day it started, at that time people used to fight with me on two counts. Okay, they'd be like, they give us green tops, and I'm like, a green top is never as awful as this because deviation comes
Except
much
South
closer to
Africa.
the bat.
Except South Africa.
No,
Except South
bro,
Africa.
deviation comes much closer to the bat. A green top, if you are able to survive a day, day and a half, it flattens out, becomes a batting deck. 2021,
Nobody
those
survives
green
the day,
tops.
day and a half anymore, right? Nobody
Yeah,
survives
no,
the day,
no, no,
day
no,
and a
no.
half
Listen,
anymore.
listen. It's only on the absolute last tour that that problem happened. Before that, South African decks were going into day four. Okay,
Fine, fine. Yeah, I agree.
and they chased 240 on the last day twice.
On the last day. Yeah.
Right? That's a proper test match. You cannot say anything about that test match. It's much
I'm
worse
saying
with
the
this bullshit.
previous tour. The previous tour, the immediate tour,
So
where
for me, the tour that where I just went like this is just disgusting is when Joe Root comes and smashes a double hundred at Chepauk and we lose that test on a decent
no,
cricket
it was
wicket,
a
right?
bad pitch. It was a bad pitch. I'll tell you
Why
why it
bad?
was a bad pitch. It crumbled immediately after the first innings. It started
No, no, no,
crumbling
no,
immediately.
no. I can understand you telling me grumble day three when our when our third innings we had a problem there, third and fourth innings, but not immediately after they were done, and they were done late on day two.
No, they were done on day three. They batted into day three.
Yeah,
That's
so
why I'm saying.
the day three pitch was fine. I remember Kohli making 70 odd as well. I think that day.
Yeah, but
Uh,
the point I'm trying to make is look at that pitch.
Look, he
There was no
outbatted you.
swing, there was no seam on that
He
pitch. So you
outbatted you.
couldn't.
Yeah, that's all that happened. He outbatted you all alone. You were nowhere near him. What did we do after that? Fucking Shiv Sena pitches to the first Chennai pitch itself that dug thoroughly. And then
Yeah,
those two Ahmedabad pitches were absolutely diabolical pitches. Where
awful,
Joe
awful.
Root came, took a fifer for nothing
Nothing.
against you.
Yeah. Yeah, what happened?
I wanted to very quickly discuss one other thing. I think there are a couple of selectorial issues going on in the IPL
Yeah.
that are particularly vexing me. One is Punjab and Glenn Maxwell, and they are caught in the same loop that Australia is always caught with Maxwell, which is the day he plays crap, and otherwise he gives you ducks upon ducks, right? Okay, he's giving you a few overs. They've got Josh Inglis sitting there, man. They need to play
Yeah.
Inglis at some point in time. Inglis will
Yeah.
do much better right now. Only problem is when
But
they lose those overs. How do they compensate those overs?
forget the overs. Where do they fit English? I'll give you a simple reason why. Priyansh Arya and Prabsimran Singh are
No, no,
firing.
no, 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 no. You have to fit him where you're fitting Maxwell. No doubt.
Middle order. But
Yeah, you have
that's
to
the
get rid of
issue.
Maxwell.
English
He
is
has to
not a
replace
middle order
Maxwell.
T20 bat. English is not a middle order T20 bat.
What is that to say even? Yeah, like, he has to come out. He has to take a swing. What is Maxwell giving you with the bat? Yeah,
I agree. I absolutely agree. But there's a
they've got through
difference.
5 games now. It's enough. Yeah. Enough of a
Hmm.
sample size now. The other one
By the way,
is Sharfain Rutherford. He's too easy to bowl against for an impact batsman.
oh yeah, easy.
Right. The
And you know
problem is
what?
Phillips has got injured.
No,
Phillips has
no,
a
they
groin.
weren't using Phillips even when he was there.
That's
So,
right. And that was a mistake as per me. But anyway, now he's injured. What do they have otherwise as a replacement? Can we check the squad quickly?
but beyond that, I actually wanted to give a shout out to Priyan Sharia, brilliant batsman. That 100 was also top class 100. What a
Man, his
innings!
square hitting is something, huh?
Also, power. The power is there. The power is there. Like Abhishek, this new generation has the power stroke. It's fully in them. The thing
They're
is, the
all
T20 team is set for another 5 to 10 years. You have your players right here. You don't have to go searching for them. They're right here. In fact, you have a surplus of people at every slot. Imagine that. You have at least 10 choices for opener. Let me just give you the options. You have Arya, you have Jaiswal, you have Abhishek Sharma, you have Gill. Gill is not going to come back in, but I'm just saying Gill is there. You have way
Samson,
too many options.
Sanju
Samson,
is there.
yes, Samson. I nearly forgot Samson. Yeah, Samson. Gaikwad, when he was in form. Anyway, Gaikwad was another option. I mean, you have so many options. It's ridiculous. Number 3 is also set. You have at least 3 to 4 options there.
Yeah, whichever one that you don't pick as opener will come in at 3, yeah.
And at 4 you have a Sky, and when he fires, he fires. That's the kind of thing. And
No,
Hardik is back to his
that's
best.
where it's going to probably a year now ahead of everyone else.
But the thing is, where are you going to fit him in?
Dude, a year, the Jofra dismissal's a really, really bad dismissal.
Yeah, yeah.
Really,
The one
he
where
hits
he's
two beautiful cover drives. The first of
yeah,
which was a truly gorgeous shot. Gets a bouncer, and
yeah,
then splayed legs moving away from the stumps gets bowled, boss. Was expecting
yeah,
another bouncer.
yeah.
So anybody who tells me his problems with the bouncer are done, no, I'm not accepting it. Not at all.
Nope, nope, nope. His problems with the bouncer are not done. He deals with it slightly better than he used to, but it's definitely not done. That's how I'll put it. Gujarat Titan squad, since you are asking, this is what it is.
Okay.
Gujarat Titan squad. Who, who are you looking at?
So let's go down.
Yes, yes.
What about Lomror? Can Lomror come and replay? Actually, not Washi. Washi can. Oh, you know what? What effectively ends up happening? You can play Sharfain Rutherford, I think, but you are wasting Tevatia. Barely seen any Tevatia in this tournament. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're not bowling him either. They're not bowling him either.
Yeah. So I think you could play more of Washi. You could probably play Lomror. Lomror has been decent, whatever, whenever he's played.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. They've got to find some solution for Rutherford, man. They've got to find some solution for Rutherford.
Okay. There's a possibility, and that is in one of these younger Sindhu, or even Mahipal Lomror or Manav Sutar. They
No,
can try
no.
one of these younger chaps.
Alter your batting lineup a little bit. Yeah, the problem for Rutherford is, let's say Rutherford comes in a chase in the 16th, 17th, 18th, okay,
Yeah.
and they just pin him outside off.
That's it. That's it. Simple as that. That's
Whereas you
it.
need Tevatia there. Same problem happening to an extent to KKR. They're wasting Rinku.
Yeah. Agreed. But it's not cost as much as it should have.
It's not yet, but it'll get there. Yeah. Chalo, let's see. Let's see. Then
In the
so
LSG game, uh,
they don't really have an option in the squad now. So maybe only Lomror is an option for that kind of position, or maybe I
yeah,
don't know. Or Kutsi. Kutsi could come in, man. They could make their bowling better.
maybe, maybe. But bowling is not their
Oh yeah.
biggest issue right now.
Let's
So
let's get to this discussion. Uh this is the
Puran,
outlier of all outlier seasons, boss. What a performance. 215 strike rate at 69, 349 runs. This is nuts, man. This is nuts.
he's going to. You said unicorn season, right? He's going to do it. This man is
It's
going to do it.
already there. This is a unicorn season. How much more of a unicorn can you be? The
500,
next
500,
the guy with the
500,
next
500.
highest strike rate is with a reasonable amount is 250. That's the Shreyas Iyer at 250. The guy's 100 runs more.
No, Shreyas Iyer at 250, 208. Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's played fewer innings. Yeah, for
one innings. All right, one innings.
uh, don't forget Mitchell Marsh. 265 at 180 is not small either.
Yeah. Again, he's delivered more than I expected he would. Actually, with Mitch Marsh, no, Mitch Marsh is one guy with whom I just sort of look at him and think there's going to be a really massive explosion one day, like where Mitch Marsh just takes a team down so thoroughly. Like this is a guy who can make a 30 ball 100.
Yeah,
Okay,
easily.
this easily make a 30 ball 100, a 50 ball double 100, 55 ball double 100. Like he's a crazy batsman. So
Yeah.
someday he could do something really mad. Good thing is he always gives it away. Like he always throws it away at some point. But
Also,
Puran
one
is
thing.
Puran's unreal, man. It's 349 runs, but it's also 450s. Yeah, like you're in every
Look at
innings
his
you're in.
average. Look at his average. His average is 70. That's a
Bro,
remarkable season.
no, it is, bro. Just look at that sixes column, yeah.
Yeah, 31. 31.
It is
That's way.
insane. There's nobody in that range, bro. The next highest is 20.
And he's hitting it at Lucknow, not a cheap ground. Lucknow.
Crazy, dude. Just crazy. I just has this been the most outlier unicorn season by batsman ever in the IPL?
No, there is Abhishek last year, 484 at 210 strike rate. He hit 484. This guy is going to surpass it this year. He's going to surpass it. He's in supreme
What
form.
about Kohli in 16?
160 strike rate, 974. More bulk, but the strike rate was 160, which was very
Yeah,
impressive back then.
160 at that 160 without the impact sub was a really incredible performance, man.
Yeah. And that is 8 years ago,
Hey,
9 years ago, 9 years ago.
impact sub adds a lot to their strike, adds a lot to their strike rates. The
Regardless,
liberty they
Puran
get
is
because of
one
the
of
impact
the great.
is quite incredible.
Puran is probably going to finish up with a 600 run season at 200 strike rate. That's how brilliant his start has been. A magnificent player. He is your
It's gonna
T20
be,
prototype.
it's gonna be, it's going to be much more than 600, bro. How many games in the league season? 14 games.
14, yeah. So
Uh,
point is, if he matches 350 in his next 8 games, he has 700 in a season at 200 strike rate. Not even Gale did that. That's
no, 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 no. It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And that's six hitting power. That's really scary. That is
He
really really
hits a
scary.
six
That
on demand. He hits a six on demand. It's not as if you
yeah,
think,
yeah.
oh, he's going to target this ball or that ball. He targets every ball.
And,
He's
and both sides of the pitch. You can't bowl the wide yorker to him either.
next year T20 World Cup. He's going to be a danger man. He's going to be a man to watch out for the West Indies. He's
Like you make me think of that. The nation that has contributed the best foreign players to the IPL is the West Indies, hands down. So you get Puran, you get Pollard, you get Gale. In
Narayan,
between
Narayan, Narayan,
Narayan, dude, Dwayne Bravo was such an important player for so long.
Dwayne Smith,
Uh,
Dwayne Smith.
Dwayne Smith was he for at least three franchises. He was the perfect choice as opener, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, there's a couple more, man.
Sammy was a brilliant captain.
Yeah, yeah, 1-1, right?
Yeah,
Did he win
two,
one?
1-2, 1-2.
Wow, wow, wow.
He was captain in 2012 and 2016. He is an underrated T20 captain.
No, no, I'm talking about IPLs. Did he win any IPLs?
No. He was probably part of SRH when they won their IPL. Probably.
Right,
Other
right.
than that, I
But
wouldn't be
a
certain.
very useful player. There's got to
Yeah.
be one or two more that are bigger that I'm missing.
Russell.
Uh,
Russell. You forgot Russell.
oh, fuck yeah. Dre Russ. Fucking hell. Yeah, West Indies by far outlier contribution. Australia will probably be a close second. Not even a close
Second.
second, but a second. Because Matty
Second.
Hayden was superb for a few seasons, man. Matty Hayden, Mike Hussey was superb for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Warney, dude. Warney was magic. Won the first IPL and made Rajasthan Royals relevant as a Moneyball team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not too many other Aussies that you really look at and say lit it up.
By the way, next year T20 World Cup, this is the danger man. Forget all the Indian players. This West Indian alone can win a title for his team. This is insane hitting.
Not international bowling here. Not against international bowling.
But he will have a couple of mad knocks. He will have a couple of
Sure,
mad knocks.
sure, but I don't think he'll have it against the big teams.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I'm telling you, people keep saying the IPL is a high standard, very high standards. Players keep coming back with you. International cricket, once you get a focused international team with proper bowlers and a proper game plan at different level, it's a different level. That's why you get a lot of 160s, 150s, 170s in even in an Indian World T20 World Cup, you get a lot of those scores.
Yeah. Because bowling is better.
Just far
Bowling is.
superior.
There's another person I need to praise in this list. Sai Sudarshan has had a very good season. Sai
Sai
Sudarshan.
Sudarshan should be in every Indian team, every format.
T20 also at this
Why
strike
not?
rate?
Why?
What
Okay,
position though? What?
maybe T20 you can have a bit of a question, but He's giving you a lot of runs. I mean, you're gonna have gaps in your
ODI
T20
and
team, bro. No,
ODI,
but
he
you're
is
gonna
my
have
number
gaps
four.
in your T20 team, brother. You're gonna need to fill those gaps. Let him at least be competitive at a number 3 or a number 4 with someone like Surya Kumar, na?
Tilak. With
No,
Tilak,
no,
he's equal.
Tilak Verma is the second name in your team on in a T20 lineup. Abhishek and
Yeah,
Tilak,
yeah,
that's etched in stone.
yeah. And Bumrah. I think there's one more team we had to discuss. LSG as a whole, not just Puran. LSG as a whole. Let's talk about LSG and DC. DC also we have not discussed. DC have been brilliant. DC have been brilliant this season.
LSG have a bit of a punt problem, no? Got to deal
Yeah,
with
they
punt.
have a big punt problem.
They have a punt problem. They've got to deal with all that money they put into punt and not getting anything out of him. Uh,
27 crores.
yeah.
27. That's
But they're
insane.
winning enough games. They're in it, right? Like so that it's not pinching them yet.
Yeah. Because Puran.
They
Puran.
have a
Puran.
batting order problem. I think LSG have settled on a team. They're settled quite well settled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only thing is
Punt is the major issue.
getting more out of Miller when you need it. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, they have settled on a good team. They have a good team, and Digwesh Rathi, he's a legend. Please keep doing your celebration. These BCCI nincompoop uncles need to realize that we need fun in the game. Write
Yeah,
your
man.
autograph as many.
Yeah, man. Everything is becoming a bloody robotic bullshit here. बहुत थक गए सबसे
Yeah,
बकवास
write
से.
your name as many times in as many fields as you want. This is
Yeah, yeah,
nonsense.
yeah, 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 yeah. Enough of this. Enough of
Yeah,
this.
that's one more. DC.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I have to say.
Best team in the tournament. We saw it on day one, right? Like when we saw the squad, like the best team in the tournament.
Yeah, except for the
Punjab was the other
RCB
one
game
that we
where they
looked
had
at that looked very good, but DC just getting it done.
what a team. I can honestly say this is the first time I've seen KL Rahul so free. He's free. He looks free. He looks like he's having the best time of his life.
The rain doesn't come. If the rain doesn't come in
Yeah,
Bangalore, no?
agreed. Agreed. No, I'm saying his batting in Chennai was more impressive than his batting in Bangalore. His Chennai innings was one of the best I've seen.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, the skill level on KL Rahul is why we have always gone back to him for him to keep letting us down. No, I mean, no, you
Yeah,
cannot watch KL Rahul without the feeling of, fuck, he's just
he's
got
going to
so
do
much.
it.
Like it's a perfect batsman. Literally looks like
Yeah,
a perfect batsman.
yeah. And then yeah, that's the issue.
And then when time comes, he'll find the more. Even in that fucking Australia tour, right? Starts off
Yeah.
looking like India's best batsman, but time after time, he will revert back to mean again.
By the way, Jaiswal hit a 75 today. Pretty good innings.
Yeah,
Pretty good innings.
RCB have done really well. It's 136 of 17 overs.
Yeah, that's not good enough for RR. I don't think they're defending this. And the pitch is fine. They've just not been hitting stuff. Lot of
No,
slower
then it's
balls.
they need 45 of the next three somehow or the other to even be competitive.
45, but who Hetmeyer and Jurel, I mean, possible, but tough. So,
Whatever they need it. I don't care how they get it. They need it to even be in the competition, be
yeah,
in the
yeah,
conversation. The
yeah,
listen, Archer can those first two overs of Archer very vital.
yeah, yeah. Very vital. So RR are another interesting team in that sense. But for me, in this tournament, DC should win this tournament. If I'm looking at
Too
it,
early. Too early. Who will win it? Plus, you can only get to the top four. And after that, what happens on a given day? Who can tell?
no. Top two, top two, top two. Top two is more
No,
important than top four.
sure, I get it. But they should be top two. DC should be top two.
DC should be top two. The way they're
As
playing, they
things
should be.
stand, I would bet on DC and GT.
DC and LSG for me. Puran is having too good a season to not be
But
considered.
I don't trust that LSG bowling lineup enough.
Hmm. But now we are going to have a test of DC's bowling lineup on the flattest deck in the world, Delhi. We are going to have that next match, Delhi versus Mumbai
Why
in
are we
Arun
gonna have
Jaitley.
Why are we
In
gonna have a
Arun Jaitley.
GT test if it's Delhi versus Mumbai, boss?
No. Sorry. Delhi are going to have a test of their bowling. I meant to say Delhi are going to have
Ah,
a test of their bowling on the flattest deck in the world. I said flattest deck in the world,
it is the
Arun Jaitley
flattest.
Stadium. Yeah.
It is the
You're
flattest
going to
test.
have a flat deck in Arun Jaitley Stadium, and you're going to have a lot of fun there. By the way, here are some stats. These stats, I took a lot of time to get to them. By the way, have a look at these stats. This is the stats of this year. I have compared it with last year. Have a look at these stats, and I consider them pretty impressive, if I say so myself, as to how changes have occurred. Right? So let's get into them. Chinnaswamy, bat first and you lose the game. Straight up. Bat first and you lose the game. It's a difference of 1.5 runs per over. There's no point in batting first. Okay. Chepak is not a bat first ground; it's a bat second ground. But Chennai have done everything not to make sure that that has been the case, because it's skewed by one innings. Chennai's 103 skews this. I'll show you why in the next graphic. Wankede is a bat second ground, but that has also been skewed. I'll tell you how. Eden Gardens is very much a batter's den, and it goes both ways. Ekana has become a batting pitch now. They've made Ekana into a batting pitch. They've ruined that pitch. Hyderabad has become even flatter than last year. That's how flat this pitch is. Mullanpur has become flatter than last year, and Ahmedabad is also flatter than last year. That's how bad it's become. And look at home team run rate, away team run rate. Chinnaswamy, it's the same as bat first, bat second. We have gotten the bad end of toss both times. Look at Chepak. I want to laugh at Chepak so much. Chennai are batting at a run rate of 7 in Chepak. It's the exact opposite of last year. And away teams are bashing them at 9. This is the
Chennai are
brilliance.
not a team right now, man. That's just all it is.
That's it. All it is. Yeah, that's true. That's one. And look at Wankede. Home team run rate is very good, 10. Away team run rate is not so much, but that's skewed by a KKR rubbish performance. Home team run rate is high. Away team run rate is high in Eden Gardens. Ekana, both are high. Hyderabad also both are high. Mullanpur both are high, and Ahmedabad both are high. Again, these are just some examples of some brilliancies. So yeah, this is how the table looks. For me, Delhi Delhi is a strong bet to win this tournament, but it also depends on how well they do at home. Let's see how well they do at home. Other than that, Hyderabad looks like a flat deck. And because they have gotten their mojo back, they are a strong bet for an eliminator game at least. Other than that, Wankede is a flat deck. They'll get their shit together soon enough, I'm sure. But yeah, it looks normal. And Chinnaswamy is not a batter's haven, but it's a batter's haven in the second innings. Dew and rain basically kill you. Simple as that. It's a toss deck. That's all it is. So we'll conclude our IPL and cricket discussions with this.